stock of the day, thought I'd bring up Liontown Resources. Turned down a $5.5 billion buyout proposal from the world's biggest lithium producer. Today, Citi has lifted its price target on the stock, with analysts saying the offer needs to be improved to get Liontown back to the table. Adding a counter offer seems likely. Meantime, Canaccord Genuity analysts say the bid seems somewhat opportunistic given the recent equity pullback as lithium pricing has eased. It adds the deal may impact lithium markets as consumers think about the loss of independent lithium producers. After a roaring day yesterday, Liontown up another 2.33% today. Capolingua, what do you think? And the Liontown resurgence has lifted everyone, Pilbara, Alcam, the whole lot.
It has.
So, what do you think?
I'm a little bit annoyed, really, because as you know, we were out of lithium pretty much. That Pilbara was kind of last. Having said that, Liontown, a bunch of clients did get on because go check the tapes, covered it on 7th of March in my Tuesday sessions, and we said on that day there's only one lithium stock you could own, and it was Liontown. A few people got on, not saying everybody did, so they've done pretty well. What we're saying now is hold. We're still a hold here. The candles are still fine. There's nothing in there to say that, if you want to take a little bit of profit off the table, you could, to pay back some of your original investment and then see how you go on the rest. But no, I still think it's worth a hold based upon what I'm seeing in the charts. I think Albemarle is a logical acquirer of Kathleen Valley, which is obviously Liontown's main mine. They're not in production yet, Liontown. They're probably in production within the next sort of 18 months to 2 years, depending on how they go with their schedule. Obviously, Albemarle owns half of the Greenbushes mine, which is, arguably the world's biggest and richest deposit of lithium. It's just south of Perth here, so they'll be looking to plug Kathleen Valley, which is just north of Kalgoorlie off the top of my head, into the production chain, which ends with processing down in Kwinana. And it's the processing, I think, which is the key to the whole picture. For Albemarle, it's just about feeding that plant now with supply to send to Asia. Lithium prices are coming down, so lithium carbonate in particular has collapsed, as in it's halved in value in a very short space of time, last 3 months. Lithium hydroxide prices, which is more important obviously for Liontown and Albemarle, those have come back from about $84 a tonne to 60. I'm trying to remember the numbers off the top of my head here. But obviously there's still a premium for lithium hydroxide compared to lithium carbonate, because it costs more to process your lithium carbonate into your lithium hydroxide. It's the spodumene that these guys, the hard rock that these guys are mining. Long story short, Albemarle's the most logical acquirer. Is there a more logical acquirer out there? I don't think so. That's the thing. Is there going to be a higher bid? Is there somebody who would pay more than the giant, the elephant in the room, which is Albemarle? I don't think so. But the market seems to think there's a bit more in it. So we're happy to see how we go. So as I said, if you want to take a little bit off the table, pay back some of your investment, don't mind, and then hang on to see how you go. Okay.
All right. To use Carl's speak, you're in stocks for a good time, not a long time. The good time ended for lithium producers. You say, when they come back, you can easily get back into them. Would you be getting back into lithium?
Yeah, that's the $1 million question. Not yet, which I did a big lithium sector review in yesterday's session. We couldn't find a single buy. Liontown was still, the only one that we'd happy to hold. And not to say that won't change. I'm a technical analyst, so we've had a big low's been put in, and an important low, some great candles. There's some demand in the system, but I think a lot of that demand, the risk here is, Koshi, a bunch of it's probably short covering.
Right.
And maybe not necessarily that long-term opportunistic buying to try and find that low. So we want to see what happens from here. We're going to see how the technicals develop. If you see higher troughs come in, if you see more white candles come in, there's probably more in it than just short covering. If we start to see those nasty black candles develop again, and that is my fear, then these long-term trends have not ended. We're still on a long-term downtrend.
So people didn't take your advice and have ridden their lithium stocks down, and now we've got a rally. Just sell into the rally?
Possibly, yeah. So watch out for those candles. So I don't need to be around. It's the black candle or the candle with the long upper shadow. So that's the line pointing upwards. If you see those, this is mainly just short covering. It's a flash in the pan. It's very much Liontown centric, and it's not going to spread outside of Liontown, and you can start to take advantage of those higher prices and get some out.
Michael, what do you think?
Yeah, very comprehensive there from Carl. We've been in lithium over the last few years. AKE, PLS are the main sort of two.
You're still there?
We still have some clients who hold a bit, because we do like the long-term story, but it is less compelling in the short term. And we've seen these big volatile cycles with the lithium really over the last 5 years. So I do think you have to be pretty agile around these positions. When it comes to Liontown, it's a very good asset, a clear path to production. They've got some offtake agreements with Ford and Tesla. So it was always sort of touted as potentially one that was a takeover target, just given the transition phase that it's going through at the moment. The big question is whether the shorters resume their short attack on a lot of these lithium players, because there was a handful of lithium players amongst the top 10 most shorted stocks on the ASX. So this might be a little bit of relief before the shorts start to come back on, because I don't think the short-term supply and demand dynamics of the lithium market have really changed that much. We've seen prices really collapse, as Carl touched upon. You've had some of the big companies out of China. So one of the largest, or if not the largest, electric battery companies has been discounting battery prices. They've been pushing back on some of the contracts that they have to buy new lithium at even lower prices. So that's negative sentiment that's filtering through the lithium market. The back end of last year, the Chinese government ended the subsidy on electric vehicles. So there's a bit of a negative mindset and negative narrative around lithium at the moment. So we're not going to get too carried away just because a random takeover offer has been lobbed on the whole space.
But that random takeover offer has lifted Liontown share price 35%. If you're in Liontown and you're so bearish, Carl's waiting for black candles to sneak in. It's like the financial version of an exorcist coming in to get out of it. Why would you take the money at the top of the market?
With Liontown specifically, there's always the risk of a bigger takeover offer down the track, but there's also the risk that they walk away completely and maybe just wait for the market to become even more decimated in the lithium space. So I'll be selling at least half and letting half sort of run, just to wait and see.
So almost get your money back, if you like.
Well, that's right. I mean, it was a pretty hefty jump, wasn't it? So you're doing very well in a short space of time.